Hello, everyone. Hola todos. Thank you all for tuning in. Your hosts today, I'm Johnny.
And I'm Tom.
And I'm Tadeo.
We're three American expats coming to you from the iconic Palacio Barolo in Buenos Aires, Argentina, where architectural majesty inspired by Dante's Divine Comedy intertwines with our conversations. The podcast about everything but nothing with some expat life, news, and comedy thrown in. This is The Velvet Hammer.
Okay, let's go.
Boom, 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 boom.
Ba-ba-da.
Whoa! So I mean, where are we now? Like,
God.
we're in like we're like in an upward spiraling but downward spiraling country. Like, what the hell's going on?
We're upward spiraling because we're heading. Well, you're talking about Argentina.
Yeah, right.
You can apply that to the United States too. I
Fair.
mean, we're going up, we're going down.
Ooh, fair enough.
Yeah, crazy, man.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Which one do we start with?
Yeah, I mean, we got some hot news today. Well, supposedly. But first, honeys, ladies and gentlemen, I have... Wait, I think I'm the only different one today.
I'll start with Quilmes.
Okay, I've got a Quilmes.
And I'm doing drama.
I am also on my Quilmes game today.
Please, if you guys are working...
That was a little...
Projectile beer can. Usually it's later in the night. It's a projectile something else.
Right. Oh, God.
That was a little
Go
funny.
on. No, and listen, I had a party one time when I was in college, and it was a great party. We had Harvey Wallbangers for everybody.
Oh, my.
And so we opened the window to the dorm rooms. That's where we were. And one of the guys got so drunk, he went over to the window and he projectile puked into the screen.
Oh, no.
He didn't know there was a window screen there, and it goes splat all over.
Oh, God. Well, at least it was filtered.
Oh, Lord.
That same party, we broke the door, and we had to call maintenance to come up and open the door because we couldn't get out of the room. I don't know how that happened.
Liquid shoots out the window, all the fucking chunks stay inside.
My roommate and I actually had to move to an empty dorm room across the hall because ours was so trash.
That's like something out of a movie.
That's tequila for you.
Ooh, just curious, was that a public university? Because my university was private and there was a dry campus. We were not allowed to have any sort of alcohol on campus.
Well, actually, it was what was then North Texas State University, and it was not private, but it was in a dry county north of Dallas, and so you had to drive like maybe 10 miles to the county line, and there were like 5 liquor stores lined up. And so you pick up all your beer and all your liquor and everything, and then have to drive 10 miles back.
Okay, that's
Yeah. You said you were having Harvey Wallbangers. What is that?
Oh yeah.
Harvey Wallbanger is orange juice and triple sec, and it's tequila, and then it's on the rocks. And there's one other thing that goes into it, cream de something. I can't remember exactly what it was. Something really out there. But really nice and tasty, and you don't really notice the tequila, and you just get kind of wasted.
Yeah, you're going to bang your head against the wall like Harvey did.
I miss tequila. Does not exist out here.
So I had a question about follow up on that, but I think I might have forgotten.
Tequila.
Harvey.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
Well, I'm gonna see what's in that for real.
Okay, yeah.
So we do have. The last ingredient is. Well, it says cherries. I don't know. I guess you put cherries into it.
Cherries.
Ganicio. What is this? Ganicio. Gaino liqueur. That's the last ingredient. Gaino liqueur. The third one down there with the G. Guyano. I can't read it correctly.
I knew it was something weird.
Guyano liqueur. It looks like it's green or something.
What that is. If you highlight it and hit look up,
let's go.
It should look it up.
Everybody's on the edge of their seat waiting for the Harvey Wallbanger recipe.
That? Oh my God.
But you got orange juice and tequila. What more do you need? Just slash it together.
So did you live on campus? Just curious.
Yes.
Okay.
In the dormitory.
Okay. So yeah, I did for 2 years in DC, but but again, dry campus.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. How weird in Texas being so like the land of the free and the brave. How are they having dry counties? What WTF is with that?
It was so weird in Texas because at the time I was there at college, and then I moved there after about 15 years with my family, and I worked there for a few years. And at the time that I lived there, it was legal to drive with a beer in your hand.
Oh my God.
And so whenever you pulled off the interstate, I-35 or 675 or whatever those are, okay, you pull off I-35, you go into a gas station, and they've got this big oak barrel that's cut in half, filled with ice. It's like 3 feet across, full of single cans of beer.
Oh my God.
And they all cost $1. So you could go in and pick up a beer, go out and drive down the interstate. But the catch to that is you better have your seatbelt on. Because if you didn't have your seatbelt on, you got a $25 fine.
$25, that's all?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
So you can cruise down the highway with a couple of tall boys in your hand, and that's okay, but you better have that seatbelt on.
Oh my goodness.
Hence the word road soda.
Oh yeah.
Road sodas, we used to call them.
Road sodas.
Yeah.
Called what?
Road soda. A beer is let's go pick up some road sodas.
A soda you drink while you're on the road.
Oh yeah,
it's called a road soda.
Or brown bagging it. That's what we did in Atlanta. You know, you got a brown bag, it's legal. And if they can't see what you have, then they can't theoretically pull you over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, out here in Argentina, where it's completely legal, I mean, technically not, but you can drink on the streets. These are definitely road sodas. We would just walk around with a beer in the hand. It's for those of you thinking about traveling and you're tired of the United States saying you can't drink on the streets, except for in New Orleans. Well, come down here, come visit us out here in Buenos Aires, where you can drink it to your pleasure all night long in the streets, and the police do nothing.
Yeah, that's right. But you cannot drive. There is zero tolerance on alcohol.
That is true.
If they stop you and you have any alcohol in your blood,
out.
you're DUI.
Yep, you're done.
In all of Argentina.
Yeah. So they're tough on it, but they're really loose. Like, you can walk around and have fun, be with your friends, but if you dare drive and put people in danger, nah.
Especially in the city. In the province, I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more lax, but in the city, because there are some bad accidents that happen out here in the city.
Ooh, yeah, true.
I think
actually, you had
New
a couple
Year's.
of accidents. You saw I think Halloween. You read about one.
Halloween.
Someone flew I mean, you talked to me about a couple. If you can remember.
I mean, the worst one I heard was New Year's Day.
That's
so
what
everyone
it
had been
was.
partying New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day, these people were racing through the park in their car, and they ran over 6 bicyclists and a jogger.
Oh my
And
God.
they lost control. So it's bad. I mean, people here party though. They party until the 6 a.m., 7.
Yeah.
This is at 10 a.m. by the way.
God, that's a lot of people.
They had been
Run
partying
over.
all night, and then they all got out of the car and ran off. And it was
How drunk must you be to hit 6 bicycles?
Yeah,
Dude,
he was going so fast. He just, I guess, couldn't,
Well, I know a story of somebody in Virginia.
Wow.
I heard this from a DUI lawyer.
Damn.
And he said that he had this client, and they had a big party the night before, and his client was driving home the next morning. And alcohol stays in your system for, I think, 48 hours. He was driving home, he was relatively sober, and drove over the hill, and there was a whole palio of bicyclists there. And so he could...
A palio?
Yeah, that's an Italian term, and they're starting to use it in the States too. Palio is like a bunch of bicycles. In Italy, they have 150, 200 bicycles on the road with a car in front and a car in back. You're stuck. You can't get around them. I mean, how can you pass 150 bikes?
Yeah, it's impossible.
But anyhow, this guy came over the hill, and there was a bunch of people on bicycles, and he ran into him, and one of the women died. And they checked him, and the legal limit was .06 in Virginia, and he tested .07.
Oh, just over.
They gave him 7 years in jail.
Wow, that's
And he was a professional. I mean, he was a mid-management or an upper management guy. You could not get him off. He said, I could not get him off because it was manslaughter.
Yeah.
I mean, he did run someone over. How did he run them over?
God.
He didn't brake or something?
Yeah, he probably broke. Maybe he was going too fast, but that didn't come into it. He came over a hill. There's a lot of hills in Virginia and a lot of winding roads.
Yeah, you can't
He
see
came over, and all of a sudden, these bicycles are all across the road, right? That's the problem. They don't go in single file.
Yeah,
they take the whole lane, and sometimes they take both lanes. And so it was really an unfortunate thing.
Oh God.
For him, for sure. 7 years in prison. Give me a break.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we had a little nice little, away stay with our friend in away. We'll talk about that in a bit. But she was saying, I'd much rather I'd much rather get hit by a drunk driver than be the drunk driver that gets hit. Like your bone. Well, if you don't die, your bones will mend. You'll get all better. But if you hit someone, that stays in your psyche, your conscience forever. She's like, I don't want that. I was like, well, honey, you're not gonna drunk drive anyway, so don't even worry about that. But I kind of, I'm like, damn, the guy must be like, just shocked.
Yeah, I must be a bad person. I think that every time I have empanadas, Muffy subord.
Muffy flavor, yeah.
Muffy flavored empanadas, you know. I think this little kitty cat was out there, and now I'm eating it right off her bones, you know. It's tough.
Oh my God.
But they don't advertise that. They just say carne. We went over that last time.
Yeah, right, poor Muffy.
But I still feel kind of bad.
The revolution in empanada flavors. Oh, babe. Okay, yeah, well. So we did, take the train to Tigre this weekend, yeah? And I
did. Oh, what a great time.
Yeah, if you happen to be traveling again, another travel tip. If you have like a 2 or 3 week stay and you have the chance to really enjoy the city, don't just enjoy Buenos Aires, the capital. Take a train, it's 125 pesos, super cheap. You just, you take this little train for an hour, and next thing you know, you're in this quaint river city up in the north, and it's really gorgeous. Although they're having a couple issues with flooding because of their levelings, but all right. Anyway, so yeah, we did that, right? All of us.
Yeah, it was great. We were on the trains.
Yeah.
And somebody who was with me worked for the Argentine train system.
Oh yeah.
And she was watching out the window the train tracks that were parallel and all this, and she said there were a lot of problems with those train tracks.
Gee.
And that they were going to deteriorate even more, and she was even predicting that there could be some collisions. And well, you said, Johnny, that there's a lot of derailments and stuff on the trains.
There's an Instagram account of folks in Argentina that walk around, or they're around. I guess they're around the whole country. Trenes Argentinos in Instagram.
Just submit their videos.
Yeah, they put their videos out, and they have all these derailments. And they have these big old like 2x4s trying to pull the train back onto the track, but I feel like that's out there, because wasn't your friend was saying that a lot of the semáforos, the traffic lights, the changers, the track changers are in the city are brand new, only like 2 years, she said, or 2 years, 2 years old. No.
Yeah.
She was, so there's like new stuff going on, but there's also old stuff.
Yeah, like putting a lipstick on a pig.
Yeah. right.
It's still a pig.
Yeah. But I mean, like the trains going out of Retiro, Constitution, they're high quality. Those tracks are taken care of.
Yeah.
They're not gonna have anything happen coming into the capital city, because that's a scandal, especially for tourism.
Not gonna let that happen.
That did happen at Retiro Station. I think it was the holiday, or not holiday. Oof, wow. The memorial of it was a while back, but a train lost its ability to brake coming into Retiro Station.
Whoa!
So it just crashed into the station. You know, you've seen that at the end of the terminal. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, with all those bumper pads.
Yeah.
So,
people died. Yeah,
Retiro is like Penn Station here. It's the number 2 train station. Yeah. Congreso or Constitucion is like Grand Central Station.
Right.
You walk inside, it's really ornate and gorgeous. Retiro is more of it's older. It's the same thing.
It's like 10 platforms.
It's pretty. It's like British style. 10. It's like, big glass ceilings and stuff. Nice.
Yeah.
I guess that's how train stations look.
I can't imagine a train crashing at the end.
I mean, and you see the stoppers, they look like they're on these really high pressure, like.
Oh yeah, and they're 20 feet long.
But it must.
It crashed into that. I think they may have put in new things afterwards, but it crashed. I think it was wasn't so long ago, maybe 20 years ago.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a bit.
But maybe less. I'm not sure.
2 generations.
But I mean, they interviewed a guy. He lost his.
There we go. That's right. Okay. Oh wow.
They interviewed people afterwards. A guy lost his ear.
Oh my god.
People lost body parts.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, he was lucky to have just lost an ear.
Wow.
Because people were crushed and so.
Actually, I should look that up and see where the station.
So anyhow, our friend was saying, well, it's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So, that pig is going to rear its ugly face. The lips is going to wear off sooner or later. You're going to see a pig.
But I mean, she says Argentina is like importing like lots of German tracking and lots of Spanish electronic signaling systems.
Uh-huh.
So the train cars on the soup day, I think, are It's Spanish.
The Spanish ones. Okay.
Yeah, so they have new soup de cars.
I forgot the
new stuff, but
name.
they just don't have.
Siemens, I think Siemens does one. That's the German company she mentioned, but I don't know what the Spanish company was.
Nor something, I forgot, yeah.
Okay.
The trains are wonderful in Spain. I lived in Madrid for a year, and then I lived in down south on Costa del Sol for 3 months, and there were high-speed trains. You know, you're going 130, 140 miles an hour across Spain. You can get there, and it's comfortable. Doesn't cost a lot of money. It's a lot easier than flying, you know. You don't have to do the passport check and all that stuff. In Madrid, I could just show them my United States driver's license.
Yeah,
all they wanted to see was a picture with my name on it.
Yeah, that's Euro.
You can't really terrorist track a train because you can't drive it into a building. It's on a track. So
well, that's true.
Right, true.
If you want planes to hijack, but
I guess you could blow up a bridge and it'll fall into the river. Who knows?
I prefer
on
train.
a train, I think a
a
small nuclear weapon is all you could really do on a train to really.
A dirty bomb.
No,
do not try this at home.
Like a half megaton or lower, you know, or a quarter megaton would probably be.
That's the joke. That's the joke. That's the one right there. That's the one. That's the one that made the cut.
So, see this train going through the Pampas in Spain, 130 miles an hour, and you see this mushroom cloud coming off of it. Like, holy shit!
What the fuck?
Went off too early.
Who do we have over here? We got ISIS. We got Hamas. Who do we have here? We
A
have
bunch of cows.
just the German competitors in general.
I don't know. It could be the what's it called? The IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces these days.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I didn't.
It is reassuring, like hearing from your friend that like Argentina, or at least like Trenes Argentinos, they're investing in better rail because the country had been ravaged earlier. Like when the government back appropriated all these train companies, the trains they became dilapidated. Trains, which are the highly efficient form of transportation, don't even cross the country anymore.
Well, in one of the longest countries in the world.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's so
It's
long.
huge.
Argentina is just a big old, well, not like Chile strip, but it's a pretty thick strip.
Yeah.
Just long.
And it's so important
Not
that
quite
you
wide, but
now they have to truck things,
truck and shipping, yeah.
which is highly expensive when you can just stick it all on a train.
And now the trucking union has a whole lot of power.
Oh, that's
They have
true.
a lot of power because they're the last.
Yeah.
The last.
They are the only mile.
The only one that left.
They're not the last mile. They're the only mile.
Yeah.
You could train it down,
Well,
then
it's
put it onto
probably
a truck, and then take it to its local.
Maybe they might get on some train
He's
business.
probably
again.
zeroing in on that union, you know.
Probably.
The problem with the union bosses here is that they
all
get
paid.
$1 and they keep 70 cents of it in their own pocket. 30 cents goes to the actual fund, the cause
Roughly,
of it,
yes,
you know.
Right. So, in sort of a way, he's sort of eliminated a lot of the political influence by killing down all these ministries and all the people that they appointed to work in these ministries.
Right.
But his next step is to kill the corruption in the unions, because he can't touch them because they're not governmental. So he's got to really fight them. He's got to fight these mofos.
Right.
I think that's going to be a harder fight too, because they have their people, even though the people know they're corrupt. Sorry.
And what I never really have been able to understand, there are agents on the street in Buenos Aires. They've got a uniform with an orange vest and yellow stripes, and they're called Agentes de Transportación.
Right.
And they're not armed or anything. They're just standing out there. Usually there's 2 or 3 of them standing together talking, you know, doing all this stuff. And I don't have any idea what they do. I went up to one time when I first got here and I said, well, I'm trying to get to this location. How can I get there? And his answer to me was, well, it's only 4 blocks away.
In which direction, mofo?
I said, but I don't want to walk for it. Maybe it was 8 blocks away. I said, I don't walk 8 blocks. He said, it's not so bad, walk it. I said, come on, tell me, what's the subway I have to take? And he finally came out with it. I mean, how helpful was that?
I mean, I would
He was looking out for your health, Tom.
Yeah, he was looking out.
Walk those 8 blocks. Walk it. He's like, no, just fucking walk. He's like, no, walk.
Agentes de transportation and salud.
He's like,
And salute.
You can burn a couple more calories. Go ahead, walk 8 blocks. It's not that bad.
I don't know.
beautiful city. Unless it's hot out, then it's like, oof.
True. Oh, I mean, I do find like it's strange, like in that around the obelisk. There's like a well, again, this is Nueva de Julio. We talked about this before. One of the largest avenues in the world, the obelisk. It turns into like one of the largest traffic circles in the world. It's humongous, and it's like it seems highly impossible that people get through it, but somehow they do. And generally, when like it gets really, really heavy traffic, those folks will come out, the agentes de tráfico, and they'll be like blowing whistles, like stopping cars, like do not block the traffic circle, do not block the intersection. And they're like, wait, there's pedestrians crossing the street, get out of the way. And then if a bus is coming too long, they're like, stop, move, don't walk. The bus will come lumbering by, about to smash someone. They're like, stop. And they sort of manage that.
Okay, so they actually do something.
Yeah, at least
sometimes.
It's a busy
I
intersection.
think they do like alcohol checks too for certain cars, and just like kind of randomly pulling people over to make sure they're
in the cars.
Yeah,
they can pull people.
No, they'll do like a checkpoint. So they'll park their little bus and they'll have some cones and like just randomly call in cars.
With their whistles.
God, I thought you were talking about pedestrians.
Oh no, yeah.
Because I
thought
it was simply a pedestrian force to help you find out where the bus you're going to go.
No.
Oh, true. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
I've never seen people actually get pulled over by police here. Like police do not pull people over.
No, they don't.
That's true.
They never.
Wow.
But
I
we're
don't
in
think
the
I've ever seen
era
it.
of cameras, okay? And in all the cities in America,
so
they
you
have
get
cameras on all the stoplights. You run a red light or a yellow light in Washington. Yeah, they got a picture. They mail it to you with a $275 fine. It's pretty.
That's probably what they do.
Anonymous.
It's like, oh, we saw you run that light. And then
there's no stop signs here. They're more like yield signs. Because I got a ticket for a California roll, and that pissed me off.
Yeah,
it cost fucking $500.
Yeah, but there was a stop sign there. I don't think they can ticket you for like a non-stop sign intersection. You just go right through it. There's no ticket for that because you didn't do anything illegal.
Oh, I hate that.
So there's like, I think they have like all these like crosswalks with no stop sign. So you literally have to have your head on a swivel, and if you're driving, you need to look both ways and everything and slow down because you can get hit coming through these things because nobody stops. Nobody stops.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah, unless you just flash the lights and just keep going, honk the horns like, hey, we're coming.
You'll look left, right, you'll see it's like nice and safe, and then you'll start crossing, and some car will be like zooming at 50 miles per hour and then honk at you. Like, bitch, I'm already halfway through the crosswalk. You need to hit your brakes.
Right. Well, the thing is, it's the motorcycles. If the cars come at you at 50 miles an hour, the motorcycle comes at you at 80 miles an hour from behind the car, and you don't even know they're there, and all of a sudden you got things coming at you.
Good Lord.
And they're just going to try to just graze you a little bit. They're not interested in really missing you, but if they can just leave a little scratch on your arm with their rear view mirrors, that's the game.
Ew, that sounds like it would hurt.
Yell at you.
Yeah, like no, like road burn, like oh
God.
God.
Anyway.
Jesus. Oh. Wow. Oh, look at that traffic.
Traffic. What are we going to now?
Wage.
War.
No, okay. Let's stick with Argentina because this is an expat podcast, right? So let's stick with our Argentina shit.
Okay.
Just like. Well, okay. This will actually bridge into war because we did talk. We did talk about war. I think it was last week.
We talk about war every week. War is happening.
It's a happening thing.
War is it's happening, man.
Hey, we got a war going on. Hey.
Oh, it scares me. Okay, and I have a couple of questions. So I wrote this. So The Nation recently released The Nation is a publication. They released an article about the effects of Milei's chainsaw policy on the middle and lower classes. Instead of focusing on all these financial institutions that love him, he's like, what's happening in the lower classes?
Very good.
And remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about the soup kitchens and how this lady's not giving the money directly to them. All right. So for them, it's terrible. They're not making ends meet. They need 3, 4, 5 jobs. Oh, sounds like the United States. All right. Right. A lot of the soup kitchens are now children only, and if there's any food left over after the children go, then they'll feed adults.
Oh God.
So all the adults send their kids in, and they usually bring them scraps. but the children like gobble up the food because they're so hungry and starving.
And they're growing children.
Yeah. So now a lot of the soup kitchens out in the provinces, they're like, we have no more money. It just dried up like a environmental catastrophe on a river, and it's children only. So there's that. People again working multiple jobs. Businesses are closing, and yet at the same time, others seem to be popping up like on every other corner. So
depends on where you are.
Right. So for that, like, do you? For this, I'm going to open up the question. Do you guys think that like is this working? Is it not working? Or are these just like the residual effects of something so drastic? Like, what do you guys feel about this?
I had a quick thought right there about, how when COVID came in, it knocked out all the restaurants and the travel industry pretty much. Those were the real victims of COVID. But it comes back, so it's kind of like a natural cleansing, a regrowth of this thing. So I think some of the businesses that can't make it, and if there's another business that can make it, they can come in here and do the same thing, but I don't really know.
Yeah. Huh.
I think it's kind of like you saying new businesses are popping up. I think it's mostly in like the richer areas where people have the expendable money.
This is true. Yeah.
Because the poor, they're just. I think they're suffering, and also the elderly.
Oh yeah.
They can't go. They're also trying to go to soup kitchens and they can't get food.
Yeah.
It's a difficult situation for those people. Yeah.
It was part of the article that said the elderly are suffering the worst right now. They can't even afford prescriptions or anything. Also, a lot of people, you know how it's tough to buy dollars as an Argentinian because they have such strict capital controls. A lot of people now, the poor, the middle class that are now moving into the poor, they don't have any Argentine pesos, and so now they're cashing out their savings of dollars, which is actually reverberating through to our Western Union rates, because the more dollars that flow through the economy, the weaker the dollar becomes because there's already dollars here. So that's why we're not seeing such sharp movements in our Western Union. Not that that's a thing, but that's economically.
You bring this up. I went to Western Union this morning to pick up a transfer from Bank of America.
Okay.
And I have never seen that many people there. They have the stanchions set up where you have to stand in line and everything.
Yeah.
I was 10 feet outside the stanchions that went 3 laps to go in there.
Jesus.
I had to wait like 25 minutes to get there.
Right.
What? That's nothing.
I've
That's
never,
nothing. Yeah,
other times,
Goodness.
I've been able to just walk in. Other times, I've never had the lines half as long. So what?
I think that's because it's close to the first of the month. It's part of it.
Oh yeah, that's
a lot of
true.
people pay their bills. Whenever we go around the first of the month, it's packed.
It's a
But
okay.
we've had to wait, and
wait till
I
the
think
25th.
the
and
longest
holiday
I've waited.
weekend, so they were.
Oh,
that's
and
right.
that's right.
So this,
Oh, they were the first day they were
Monday and
right.
Tuesday closed, and so
right after a holiday weekend.
Yeah, it
this
was
is
definitely-
Thursday.
Double.
So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday closed. Saturday, 4 days closed. Yeah, so
Right.
that's probably
Right.
why.
That's why.
And 25 minutes isn't that long
That
because
really
we've
is.
waited an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Are you
sometimes.
kidding me?
Many times.
Yeah.
Many times. Not just one time. Like
Yeah.
many times.
Oh, you
It
gotta
was-
find another Western Union.
No, they have 8 windows. It was the headquarters, I think. Upstairs
Yeah.
is Western Union
The whole-
offices.
at the Western Union building.
It's
here
on-
in Buenos Aires.
Really?
Cordoba and Cachao.
Yeah. And it was
you
line
know,
out the
it's a
fucking
big building. It's a big building.
Yeah. 8. He
They
said
have like 8.
I think like 12.
I think they have 8 or 10 maybe.
Yeah.
And 10
Tons of windows.
windows.
Nope.
But it's full
You're
of
still waiting for an
Brazilians
hour
and
and a half.
there's Germans and lots of extranjeros also
Right.
trying to get, because that's like the one you go to get those good dollars,
Right.
good pesos.
Although the one that we go to nearby our
They have
house
like
in
3
Palermo,
windows.
We
Yeah.
usually wait like 40 minutes.
Sometimes
maximum.
Really?
40
Yeah.
minutes max.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It's also in
incredible.
Palermo, so there's a lot of tourists going there too.
That's true.
But yesterday we waited what? I'm not yesterday. Last time we went, we waited
About 20 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah.
Nothing.
Well,
For us, that's a lot in America.
Yeah,
No one
right.
waits for anything in
Yeah,
America. Like,
exactly.
give me it now.
We don't
Give
like
me-
queuing in here in the United States. We don't like queuing. Fuck you little queuers. Oh no.
We
want to get through the goddamn line and get our fucking goods into our pockets and go home.
Americans don't like to wait.
No,
We do not
we
wait.
But here,
Mm.
they don't mind
They're
waiting.
used to
Yeah.
waiting.
In fact, the joke in Madrid when I lived there was that people would be walking down the street on Gran Via and they'd see a line of people. And these people, some people would get in the line. and not even know what they were in line for.
Right.
Because the Spaniards in Madrid love to stand in line.
God, what a weird thing. Like, whoa, why not just hang out and stand in a park?
Yeah,
Because
no.
it's a prize at the end.
They're going to get something.
Yeah.
Surprise! Oh my God.
Prize, you're in line for.
There were so many people at the Western Union this morning. My main fear was that I was going to get my money in 500 peso notes.
Jesus,
Which is, folks, that's 50-cent pieces.
Yeah.
So it's much better to get it dollars.
Right. So
1,000 pesos is $1, right?
Right.
That's the biggest they got.
Right.
Sometimes they have $2 bills.
Right.
We talked about that.
Imagine going to the bank and asking to withdraw $1,000, $500 even, and then they give it to you in 50-cent quarters. Or quarter, like, good God, like they're gonna give you bags and bags and bags of quarters. That's what it means for him to get these 500 pesos. Like it's a mountain of cash.
And a poor mountain boy never kept his elephant. And one of the lines in that show is again, he says something like, he says, yeah, he said, we're going to pay you. They're going to pay me in a new kind of dollar. They call it millions of dollars.
Yeah.
He says, I think I'll take it all in nickels.
Yeah,
That's a real joke from that show. I love that show. Everybody loved that show. Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but okay, so back to where we are. Like, do you think, like, again, like we're talking about this poor versus the rich? Like, the financial institutions love Milei right now. Again, I'm going to flip it and another question. Milei is winning them over. The president of JP Morgan Argentina says that by the end of the year, Argentina is going to have full open rights to the capital markets, which means they can freely buy and sell around the world without having to like have all these taxes imposed on them and everything. So the financial institutions obviously love them. Now, do you think though
that's bad for that's bad for the normal person,
right? So it's like, and also winter is coming. Winter is coming. Do you guys think this? Do you think it's gonna last the winter? Like, what if this keeps going in the way it's going? Is this gonna even last the winter?
What, the austerity?
The austerity, like, I mean, or like, does Milei need to do something to change this? Like, what's going on here? Like,
for me, if the financial institutions are loving you, you might be an evil motherfucker.
Fair.
Because those bastards are bastards.
Okay.
No one likes the bank. The bank is so maybe he's doing good for like the larger businesses in Argentina, and maybe that'll trickle down. I think that's maybe what's going to have to be.
Right.
Because I don't see any relief coming for those poor people.
And to add to that,
I don't see food and winter coats.
Okay. To add to that, the once Argentina has access to these big markets, all the businesses in Argentina also have access to these markets. So if they need to raise some cash, they can raise it through the investments. They can raise it through investments and people can invest in them. They can't do that right now. And then if people invest in them, then maybe, like you just said, it might trickle down to, we can hire more people, we can build some infrastructure.
That's the plan.
Or the big man just go ahead, his foot's already in the door, he's going to take it and run with it.
Fair.
And the smaller mom and pops, who's going to invest in them?
They might go up.
Yeah, you're gonna have, the McDonald's and the Burger Kings are gonna be the ones who have the main just to put it on like a example.
I see, yeah.
But the little tiny burger shops, who's gonna invest in like Couple Burger and D Burger and
Right.
That's a good seg into another topic. If you're ready to leave this, California minimum wage.
Oh yeah.
It went up
$20.
$20 an hour for somebody who flips burgers, and this is wreaking havoc on fast food in California. People are closing their stores. People are just saying, I can't do it anymore, and just push them out on the street and board it all up.
Is this like McDonald's and Burger King, or is it all fast food? Any burger shop?
Yeah, anybody. Well, fast food notoriously pays minimum wage.
Yeah.
At least they can.
Right.
And now minimum wage, it went from, I think it was 15 before in California.
Yeah, I don't remember.
In the rest of the country, it's like $7.50.
Yeah.
But in California,
Well, yes, federal minimum wage, and states can have a minimum wage higher but it has to be at least federal minimum.
Right. Okay. So they can't afford it. They say. The owners of I own 200 McDonald's, in San Bernardino. It's like I can't afford to pay an extra $5 an hour to the kids that work for me.
Right. True.
And so they're closing their stores, probably getting a big insurance tax write-off and all this stuff. So we're talking about predictions. I've got a prediction for today, but this is another prediction just came up. Yeah. So all the illegal migrants that are coming across the border in Taiwan and such, they're going to have fertile ground for employment.
Oh, I'm going to X-nay
because they'll pay them under the table.
I'm going to X-nay that one.
Whoa.
I'm going to X-nay that. X-nay.
No?
I think it's actually McDonald's, Burger King, all these big franchise firms have been actually investing heavily in robotic burger making technology so that they can they opened the first fully robotic McDonald's. I think they test ran it in Texas or somewhere in the South. Fully robotic. Nobody knew the difference. They
even wrapped the burgers in that wax paper.
And it just and then handed your bag out the window.
Perfectly wrapped in wax paper.
Perfect. Or whatever. Exactly to spec. So what all these high taxes are really just an easy way for McDonald's to justify, or any fast food company that is. John, I'm not picking on you, Mackie. I love you. But it's just an easy excuse to say, well, if you're gonna make all these minimum wage and force us to pay humans more, now the cross, like pay human versus money earned, invest in robotics versus or opposite.
Yeah,
you can see me in the camera. I'm trying to do a thing,
right.
But they're gonna roboticize all of them, and then they're gonna make 100% profit.
Whoa!
Other than maintenance and upkeep,
right?
Yeah.
Which is easy because you just need a small crew to.
So you're saying the tail is wagging the dog in the fast food industry?
Yeah,
they're probably for it.
They actually supported the $20 minimum wage.
They probably lobbied for it so that they can easily claim that it's a reasonable thing to do to just replace humans with robots because it's too expensive to pay humans to flip burgers.
So why do they have to claim that? For public opinion and what everybody thinks about them, or for a tax write-off, or
also because if people hate them for it, they can just blame the government.
I think it's also for public opinion. Mm-hmm. Because if you look at other smaller fast food chains, like where we used to live in San Bernardino, there was a Gus Jr.'s. And they had maybe 5 or 6 locations.
Right.
If this place has to pay their workers, they might have to. I mean, you only have 5 locations.
Yeah.
That's going to hit you harder than if you have hundreds of locations like McDonald's. So those little small ones might go out of business. McDonald's buys their little shops.
Yeah, and they're done.
Monopoly.
But, so how does this help public opinion, though?
Because it's, we can't pay our workers, so we're just going to, it just seems like you want to keep the budget in your household budget, you're going to buy the cheaper thing.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense. I think it speaks to the people, like, well, we can't pay our workers as much, but
then
still give you the same product with machines.
But I would say the public opinion would be like, how dare you fire all these people? How dare you lay them off? We don't have any jobs. Public opinion, I think, would be skewed negatively towards them if they roboticize.
Right, but now they have an excuse.
They have an excuse because they can't pay.
Right, they can't afford the $20.
Exactly. Blame the government. It's their fault. They're the ones who passed it. In fact, you guys are it's their fault. It's not our fault. We're just doing what the government says. Blame it on the government. That's what I would do.
Oh, yes, that's what I'm saying.
And that's probably what they're doing too.
Oh my God. You're probably right. I really believe you. But what does it cost to gear up for a fully robotized McDonald's?
Well,
It's got to be. I have no idea. $1 million, $10 million, $500,000.
Dude, they have these nano suit. We have microchip factories that make chips in accuracy of nanometers. Like the smallest things that we can even imagine. Our brains can't even comprehend them. So flipping a couple burgers is probably it's like a Rube Goldberg.
Yeah, like a steam engine. 150 years.
It's very simple. Thank you for the song.
And everything.
I feel like once they buy in bulk too, it'll go down. The cost will go down. And people probably love to go. They'll probably put it in front of a big glass window, and the kids will go watch the robots make.
The kids will love it.
Yeah.
And they'll be,
And they've been R&Ding this for years, so they've figured it out probably to a T exactly how much it costs, and they figured out how to cost it out and make it cheap for themselves.
So you're saying it's probably some pretty cheap, stupid semiconductors that are going to control these machines, and it's a little bit of iron foundry work to make the pieces, because something has to go in there and pick the burger
I'm not saying
out.
it's going to be like cheap shit. This is going to be some really complex stuff. But
So how much?
I would say they probably went to the depths of saying Central McDonald's can probably just change with a click of a button in their central offices how many burgers happen at the number 15 in California or the number 45 in Delaware. They can easily just manage them all from one central base.
Like burgers on demand.
Yeah.
I think you still have to have someone there to stock the meats and like do that kind of stuff. But I think it would look like like one of those car assembly lines.
And do all the washing.
Toss a cow in every once in a while.
Just a bunch of right.
Put another cow in the
and
debone.
Sanitation is humans.
Yes, right.
It would look like a car assembly line with the big robot arms, just big old robot arms everywhere, flipping burgers.
Well, I'd kind of like to see that, and I think they'd probably be delivering some entertainment to the American public.
Oh, goodbye, Ronald loses his job. Now it's Robot McDonald's.
Yeah. Robot.
Goodbye, Ronald.
Ronald. Yeah,
Robots McDonald's.
Robald.
Robot McDonald's.
Oh, God.
Hello, Joe J.
Well, they'll put a wig on it.
Oh, my goodness. You know, Siri pops up with like a small bubble that's glowing in purple and green.
Yeah, right.
And you say, "Hey, McDonald's," it pops up in like a bubble of red and orange.
With a big
and
red
yellow,
nose.
Yeah. Oh, God.
A stationary nose on it. Hello, what would you want today?
Would you like a Big Mac?
Never mind, I already know what you want.
Do you need a side of
coming
fries
in
with
right
that?
away. Because I recognize your face.
Right.
You've been here before. You always order this.
Yep.
And you have 5 seconds to cancel that order. Otherwise, it's on the way.
And with advances in like AI technology for voice synthesis, most things sound like humans now. You can't even tell the difference. It's like, "Oh, hi, how are you today?" How it sounds like a fucking human. But before it would be like, "And today I'm going to read this thing from the other."
No,
it's
it's
now
not
it's
like that.
so perfect.
Yeah.
And it uses AI to make it so, the cadence, the breathing. Oh, God, scary, terrifying shit.
Ooh, we got some.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
we're way past.
We are
way
forty-
past our
we're
mid.
forty-
We're having too much fun today.
Oh, this is a good
Okay,
conversation.
What do you have there?
All right, so I'm staying on Kilman, ladies.
Another kill mix. Okay, I'm staying on Brahma.
All right.
Oh, and I am playing switch hitter tonight. I'm switching over to Brahma now.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well,
All right.
that's one.
So you're gonna have to give us a little taste test of the two. So how do you feel about Brahma versus the Kilmeth?
Oh, the Brahma. I think Brahma's better.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, he says the Brahma is better.
Oh yeah. Well, I
Brahma's a
find
little more tasty.
the kill mix is a little thinner.
And that's it. That's what it is. It's
And I don't know if it's the malt or the sugar or what they do in Brahma.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit
And
better.
more
also
flavor.
so foamy. Look at all that foam.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we saw it, well, we'll get you guys camera later, but this is so foamy. All that foam is so gross.
The kill mix.
Yeah.
There was a bit more flavor in the Brahma. Kilmas
Yes.
is kind of very
Yes.
thin. That's a
Okay.
good word for it. Like very kind of not watery, but thin.
Ooh, yeah, I don't even know what to do with this right now. I don't want to drink it, but that's so much
let it bubble out.
Okay, so doesn't it? I mean, I pulled up a big thing here, and we had a little conversation about it. So
What's going on that?
somebody have something? No, I was really interested because
Kilmas, we really want to visit your factory.
Oh, yeah.
And so if there's anybody out there in our listening audience that works for Kilmas,
right,
comment to us, get in
marketing.
touch with us. We want to have a tour. We want to get shit-faced on your property.
Actually, I'm probably going to contact within the next few minutes. I'm probably going to contact the head. Like, I'm going to go through and contact their marketing team. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Oh, cool. That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
And I'm like, hey, we have an opportunity.
We'll
for
be
you.
on location.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Maybe we can set up somewhere when we go video and have the forklifts driving back and forth behind us.
Oh, that would be wonderful,
yeah.
Oh, that Charlie Brown. Wah, wah, wah.
Okay, well, that's
We're just up there.
Oh, damn.
maybe they know what they're saying.
Right, right.
Well, it wasn't Spanish. You gotta.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
I'll repeat the same thing in English. You go the guy to get how far.
There it goes.
All right, and we're on.
Let's see what I got here.
Oh, so God. Oh,
Yeah.
did you see that thing?
Okay.
Hillary? Hillary Clinton.
I thought she was dead.
I know you said that.
I thought she was dead.
But there's a video of her on there,
Oh,
and
shit.
I don't know who she's talking to, some right-wing motherfucker. And she said that the election coming up is only a matter of who do you want. You have on one side, you have an old man who's nice and cares about people genuinely. And then on the other hand, she says you have another old man who has 91 felony charges.
Oh, come on.
That's what she boiled it down to.
Wait, so which one is which? I don't get it.
Yeah. I'm lost.
They're probably both criminals, and they're probably
Biden's
both.
felony charges are in the wings, and that's going to come up after January 20.
Oh, that's absurd. If it comes down to
They're
that,
both criminals, and
then if that's what it comes down to, then we are lost. Well, the United States is lost because now the only fucking I'm gonna curse on this one. I've been holding my tongue.
Oh, go.
If the only thing that you have to think about is how many felony charges, or if they're a nice old man, and that's your qualifications to vote for a president, then y'all need to fucking start getting your shit together.
Y'all are fucked.
Yeah.
Y'all fucked. Y'all need to put your eggs.
What is this person actually gonna do? I don't care if they're old. Are they capable of doing it? Yes or no. Do they have actual policies that they are saying that they're going to do? Yes or no. Can they fulfill these policies? Yes or no. That's what we should be basing it on. Not of if it's an old man who cares about people. Like that is what you think about when you buy a teddy bear for your child. The teddy bear is a nice fluffy thing that cares about your little kid, and your kid can hug it and be happy. Sorry.
Oh,
pretty heated. I was like,
you're right on. You're right
pissed
on.
off. Like that's sickening.
Hillary was right in what she said, though, because that is the only choice that you really have. It's you can choose someone who has felonies or someone who's going to get felonies, and someone who you think is nice. Niceness is that's like in your opinion.
I don't
Exactly.
need a nice president. I don't need a nice leader of the free world,
In fact,
which
I
is
kinda
what
want
the
a
United States president is.
Yeah.
I need somebody that can do the business. Now,
Right.
I'll be honest here. I've said I've been a Trump supporter for many, many years. And when people confront me on it, because people confront you all the time for being a Trump supporter, the thing is that I want him to lead I couldn't stand to be in the same room with Trump for 15 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
Personally,
Yeah.
and with the personality that he has exhibited and all this, but I know that he loves America and he loves Americans and he wants to make America profitable for Americans.
Fair. I mean, and I was about to say, like you mentioned, a lot of people don't like, or they get on your tail for being a Trump supporter. Like, what if Trump never existed and there was another person just as effective, but not Trump? Like, what?
It's very.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Question.
Yeah. I don't want to like get too deep in like your ideas, your political ideas, but like, does it matter that it's Trump, or is it just because it's not Biden? Or
it's the economy, stupid. It's money.
That's
Whether you got a job, whether you got 2 cars,
Right.
whether you got a 3,000 square foot house or a 5,000 square foot house with a swimming pool.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Right.
And Trump is a businessman. And if you don't think, folks, if you don't think politics is a business, then you need to rethink that thought.
Yeah,
that's
nothing.
true.
Every
That's
single
true.
congressman comes out a millionaire.
Yep, that's true.
And also, just with normal people, don't be funny with my money. When people mess with your money, I think that's the main reason for divorce. People can love each other and get married. You can cheat on your partner before they divorce you for fucking with their money.
Right.
Do not fuck with the money.
Yeah.
It's very important, and that's why I think Trump has a lot of support.
Right.
I wanted to go on
And
one
don't marry a person with no money, because they will fuck with your money.
No. There you go.
Just
No, don't have to worry about the
Maybe
money.
we'll have 111 Productions marital.
Oh my God. Marital Advice Edition.
Let's teach you about relationships, huh?
Oh, God.
I don't think so.
No.
Don't fuck with
I ain't going there, because I have no relationship advice whatsoever. None.
So you know who else is weary of Trump getting elected? The Ukraine.
Weary?
Weary.
As in they don't want to?
Yeah,
They're
they're
worried or
worried.
weary?
Yeah.
Oh, worried.
They're worried, yeah. Worried. They're worried. Yeah, they don't
You're
want
losing your English. You've been here too long.
It's the same word, right? They're
worried.
They have weary. They don't want. They're worried about him getting elected.
Okay,
but they're
sorry.
whatever.
We're
Ukraine and NATO. So because they think that Trump's going to get elected, and Trump says he's going to defund this Ukraine war, which is a stalemate,
I see,
and it's been going on for 2 years. They've lowered the inscription rate from 27 to 25. Shitty. But NATO is trying to do a long-term $100 billion deal with Ukraine to lock in this long-term deal so that all the NATO members have to pay Ukraine before Trump gets elected, so that Trump can't take away the funding to Ukraine, which he would, which he should.
Which he should, yeah.
Because it's a stalemate. It's been going on for 2 years and no one's gained anything but dead people.
And that money would be better spent building bridges, building roads, funding schools, funding
For
the United States.
North Americans.
So look, they are like saying, we know he's going to get elected. We don't give a fuck. Let's push this bullshit package through so we can have a long-term $100 billion.
That's a
For
lot
what?
of money. That's
Just
a lot of money.
No.
It's a stalemate. They have not moved like a mile in either direction in years.
If NATO
To fight a
members,
war. Sorry, go ahead.
if NATO members will pay it. Remember when Trump first got into office, way back then, he came down on the NATO members that weren't paying their fair share. And they had to pay. They came up with the money eventually.
I mean,
He said that recently. He said like NATO members aren't paying their fair share. We're paying too much.
Isn't NATO just a strong arm of the U.S. government trying to force its will upon the rest of the world?
The communists.
After World War II, the United States is still ruling the world. I mean, we're very, very close to it. Now, the Chinese are pretty strong, too. All of Western
We're hanging out by the hair on our nails.
Exactly, yeah. The hair on our nails?
Yeah, there's no hair on our nails. We're hanging out by
hair on
nothing.
So we're hanging...
I don't know, like the hair
That
on
comes after the nuke. That comes
hair on our nails.
That comes about 6 months.
The hair on your butt crack.
That was funny though.
Hair on your nail. Yeah. That comes 6 months after the train has a small nuclear warhead and it blows up in space.
And now here we've gone full circle.
Oh, it's raining. Why is the rain glowing like that?
Oh my God.
And 6 months later, you got hair on your nails.
Oh
Yeah,
God, there we are.
And now America's back
you
again.
There we are.
You start growing a penis on your shoulder. It's like, what the hell is this? Well, it might be fun. I don't know.
That's supposed. That is.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Oh my God! You'll have horns like Cruella de Vil. Those shoulder horns, you know. Oh God.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Are you happy to see me? Your shoulders your shoulders are shrugging.
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord.
Jesus.
Oh well.
I mean, I've got one more just for
Go ahead.
horrible military spending. I really hate it so much.
Go ahead. Let's hit it.
So Reuters has said Biden has authorized $18 more billion to go to Israel.
Jeez.
He's buying 1,800 one-ton bombs, which can level a city block, 500 500-pound bombs, and 25 F-35.
Why? What?
F-35 fighter jets.
They haven't leveled it yet. I think Gaza's just like
I thought it was already done.
Moon-based Gaza.
Like, why are we buying this shit for them?
Like, why can't you buy it yourself?
Exactly. If you want to have war, you better have enough money to fight that war, because ain't nobody funding your war. You know what? That should be a fucking world agreement. No country can ever fund another country's war. That would mess up war forever.
That's a good idea, Johnny.
Like if you go to war, all countries must stop except for the person who's been told war.
Look, there's all these war crime shits.
Like, you know what? Let it go.
Who gives a fuck?
Like when people start fighting in the streets, nobody goes and interrupts except to say stop. Like people don't join them. Well, I guess people who join the fight like drunken brawls.
Because that's a fight.
Drunken brawls?
Oh my God!
I've never seen
the war
that.
in Ukraine is a drunken brawl.
I think
it's a whole bunch of money drunk motherfuckers just trying to blow a country to bits.
I think the same thing is happening with Israel. It's a drunken brawl, and you're getting don't hit my brother. Boom, and then you get hit in the face. Oh, and now you're in the brawl. And now everyone's brawling. And now, see, there's no rules in a brawl, no rules in a fight, no rules in war. You're trying to make rules for war.
No.
But it's a war. You're killing people. Like it's the worst thing.
That's
you
it.
can
It's
do.
always like that.
Yeah, so there's no rules in war. There's no rules in fights.
It's terrible, nasty, awful stuff.
It's an
You're
atrocity.
in a street fight. You're kicking balls. You're pulling hair. You're scratching.
Yeah.
You're
I'll bite ears.
Yeah, just fine.
Mike Tyson taught me right.
Give me a 7.2 earthquake instead of a war. Speaking of which,
Oh my God,
Taiwan.
here we go.
Oh my God! Have you seen those pictures of the buildings that are like
Yeah.
tilted over?
Oh my God.
They have some strong reinforced building because the building didn't collapse.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, that brings and 9/11 they fell down. Fuck that shit.
Oh yeah, there you go. Back to
fuck that.
They don't fall down. They just tilt over.
Exactly.
You got
It's
this,
tilted
So
over.
you got this,
in Taiwan,
cube.
the
The
worst
cube
they
is
do
on a
is tilt.
skew.
It's a high rise. I think it's like what 8 stories.
Yeah.
It's a big
yeah,
building.
Right. It's like
Didn't
Right.
it's probably a 15-20% skew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was way on its
More
side.
than
Yeah.
that.
They're
Yeah.
stacking sand under it to try and keep it, upright until they demolish it. But
9/11 probably would have looked like that if they hadn't demolished it, but who knows?
and on that note, do we have any predictions?
Alright.
Did 9/11 really happen?
Yeah, right.
I predict.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
That's been so long.
Does somebody start before me? I always start the predictions. I'm going to think about mine because I generally think about them. So anyone has a prediction first?
Okay, I can go with mine. It's
All right.
it's a nice prediction. We have been suffering with mosquitoes here for months.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just it's called a river flood mosquito pandemic or endemic or whatever you want to call it. It happens every 2 or 3 years. My prediction is that all the mosquitoes are going to be gone in 10 days because the weather's getting cooler. And I think that at the end of 10 days from today, whenever that is, that the end is coming. That's my prediction, is that we're going to be through all this mosquito inundation. Because, you can't buy any repellent now.
Yeah.
So,
And the dengue, yeah.
And it's good for dengue. Oh.
that's my
And it's good for
prediction.
dengue, yeah. Because
Oh,
that too, yeah.
what did I
That's
see?
so good for dengue.
180,000 cases of dengue?
Yeah, I
from
really
these
hope that.
mosquitoes? I mean, it's been really bad.
Yeah, I hope that prediction comes true because
Yeah.
the people need a respite right now.
Yeah. Well, it's sooner or later, but I predict it's going to be sooner.
Okay. Okay, on that, I'm going to say sooner than later, but now I'm going to it's getting to winter because that's probably some of the cause of why these mosquitoes are chilling out. They're literally chilling out. They're getting too cold. The weather's changing. As the weather changes though, we were talking earlier, there's the good side, the financial markets, and there's the bad side. I think I may have said in a couple predictions earlier that Milei is going to succeed. I think he still will, but I think it's like he said, it's going to get worse and it gets better. I think in the coming weeks we're going to see some really fed up people becoming unrestful because it's getting cold. People are they're working 4 or 5 jobs, and it's just we can't even the people can't live anymore with all these austerity measures. So he's got to give something. I think I said this in another prediction, and I'm holding to it because it's getting cold and people are getting fed up. And I don't know if it's gonna last. I want him to succeed and make Argentina a great place, but okay. So that's why my prediction is that in the coming weeks.
Just
my prediction.
a quick addendum to
I
that.
actually wrote-
When I went to the Western Union today, which is about 2 blocks away from Casa Rosada,
Yeah.
which is White House where all the presidential stuff is,
Sure.
there was a demonstration going on, a manifestation.
Right.
Oh, that was
And
for
they
the
were
teachers, I think.
clapping and yelling, and I swear to God, it must have been 1,000 people walking down the sidewalk. And this wasn't even an organized event. This wasn't what we had
Right.
a couple of weeks ago, 50,000 people in this place. This is just a little pop-up.
That was an anti
Already now the unrest is in the street.
Yeah, they're coming down.
That was my
And
prediction.
his prediction.
I was thinking that in the next month a bunch of unions are gonna really hit the streets with big protests. But
All right.
my prediction now is actually that Biden is gonna come for the people with a care package for the people. He's been giving so much away. He has to give back to the people. The election time is coming soon.
Go ahead.
I think he's either gonna drop something for the infrastructure or maybe something for mothers or for families. He's gonna give some help to the people just to kind of give back.
like an appeasement.
I got an
for
analogy
every
for
suffer.
that.
Okay.
You can give somebody
I see
a
that.
fish, or you can give them a fishing pole.
Yeah, he's gonna give them the fish.
Wow.
And on that one.
Oh, on that, I guess we are out of time.
Goodbye.
Yet again. Oh my God. I mean, this happens every week. We enjoy talking with you folks. Well, here we go. Thank you all for listening to today's episode. If you like what you hear, and especially if you didn't, please like, subscribe, follow, whichever it is on your respective podcasting app. We are available on all major podcasting platforms right now. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another slightly discussive episode of
The Velvet Hammer. Hey, have a great week.